I became involved in politics because it was apparent to me that our PC government no longer had the values that are in mind that were important to the people of southeastern Alberta. It starts with fiscal responsibility, the 5 deficits in a row that they've now run under Redford. Many people in this region have told me that they're against that level of deficit spending. The attack on individual freedoms and the loss of individual responsibility with things like the Super Board in healthcare, with things like Bill 36, the Land Stewardship Framework. Many people were telling me that they felt that the PC government had lost their way, had become too big, and it was time for a more small C conservative option, which the Wildrose offers. I then had the opportunity to meet Danielle Smith, and what the Wildrose and her were suggesting in terms of more efficient government, more individual freedoms, and more individual responsibility. The biggest issue for southeastern Alberta in this coming provincial election is again that our values are not being represented in Edmonton, and the fact that this feeling that we're a bit of the forgotten corner out there is continued. So many of the people that I met to knocking on doors have mentioned to me that they're very concerned about the fiscal irresponsibility that the Redford government has shown. They're very concerned about the infringement on our personal freedoms. They're very concerned that things are happening where we are not being adequately represented where we need help and when we need help. The disaster of the flood relief from almost 20 months ago proves that, where we still have something like, I think it's 150 files that still haven't been serviced. The Wildrose has many good options to make this better, and probably the best one is free votes. Our policy is 100% of the time I'll always be able to vote free of the party and the party whip, which will totally allow me to better represent the needs and the requirements and the values of Medicine Hat and Cypress-Medicine Hat constituents. If I could set up a dinner for 4 with anyone in history, the 3 people I would invite would first of all be Jesus Christ. No one has changed the world more. No one's values and way of life have made an input, and there's of course many questions to be asked there that range from God to man and reason for being and how to live. Secondly, I think I would have to ask Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln, one of America's great statesmen, obviously had tremendous ability to get things done at a very tough time, got an important nation through a very tough period of time, and was able to pull the country back together and have the people move forward in a very positive way. Third, I think I would ask one of the Roman generals. I've always been a fan of the Roman Empire and what they were able to do, so I think I would ask Julius Caesar, a man who set out not knowing what the bounds of the world were, never mind not knowing what obstacles he was going to meet in his path. And I would think that would be a very interesting dinner with 3 very diverse viewpoints. My favorite memory from teenage years would be 2 things. First of all, I'm from a very big family. I have 5 brothers and sisters. My mom and dad still live in Norwood, and we grew up there through the 70s and 80s. And we had lots of close times, lots of fun, going to Crestwood School and Alexandra School. We did lots of things together, and one of my favorite memories from teenage years was how close my family was. I would add secondly to that, though, I also played a lot of sports here in Medicine Hat, baseball and hockey primarily. Met a lot of very nice people, very interesting people. I had a tremendous amount of fun as a teenager playing sports. Those would be my 2 favorite memories.